Good boy. Hello, everyone. I'm here at my house with my dog Nacho. But I'm here to tell you a little bit about some research stuff. We're going to be talking about research skills. Yeah, thanks for joining me with e-learning. So this lesson is designed to help you out with your research project that you're doing with your English and social studies classes. As part of your research project, you're going to be trolling through a bunch of different sources, different kinds of sources. And I'm talking about things like books or encyclopedias or Wikipedia or websites and that kind of thing. The trick with all this stuff is it's all made in different ways, and there's good and bad stuff out there in the world. Sources that are authoritative and credible, and ones that are not. And what I'm here to teach you about is how to tell apart the good sources, I suppose, from the bad ones. So before we get too much into the substance of this lesson, though, I want to take you back through my own memories and tell you a little bit about my personal journey. As a freshman in college, I got a job at a library. I went to school in Madison, Wisconsin, and here's the library where I worked at. It's Steenbach Library. There it is, beautiful building. And on my first day on the job, I got a tour of the building. I got to see the attic and the basement, and the person giving me the tour also showed me where a lot of the books were. And the library looked a little different than what our high school library looks like. Here's a picture of what it looks like on the inside of an academic college library. Check out the books. They might look a little weird. I mean, some of them are just brown. You get 100 books in a row that are all brown, and then 100 books in a row that are all red, and they're just numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's entire floors of the building that are just filled with this. Just giant, chunky books, all bound in the same color, totally different looking than what our high school library looks like. So I saw this on my tour, and my tour guide said, "Oh, here are our journals. These are our academic journals." And being, I suppose, the shy freshman that I was, I didn't ask. I didn't ask what they meant by journal. This is not the type of journal that you might be thinking of. It's not the journal where you write your secret thoughts in and lock it up with a little locket and put it under your pillow at night. It's not that kind of journal. This is an academic journal. And what do I mean by that? Well, another name for an academic journal is a peer-reviewed article. And I'm proud to show you this because, yeah, I'm sharing this knowledge with you. It's something that I went to college with not knowing. And here you are, as a freshman in high school, figuring this out, knowing this that I did not know. And it's important to know. This stuff is really the bread and butter of what colleges and universities do. So this peer-reviewed article, let me get onto it. It's this here, a research article on a specific topic, which could be, something like paleontology if you're studying dinosaurs, or it could be microbiology if you're studying cells in the human body. Could be any topic, but it's authored by an expert or a team of experts in their field. So if it's about dinosaurs, it's written by paleontologists, people who do that for a living. And it's been extensively reviewed by other experts, meaning other people who also studied that same thing look at it and scrutinize it deeply. They check it off very, very carefully to make sure the facts are right. The reasoning makes sense. Everything checks out. It needs to be checked by a bunch of people, and then it's finally published in these journals. So it's very important, that the facts are straight. It's professionals all working together to make sure that what is published is true, and then it becomes kind of part of the body of human knowledge. So if there's something wrong, it's possible that it could be redacted or withdrawn, but there's some major fallout for people who get things wrong. A single mistake, a single poorly written article can really ruin a person's career. So what I'm trying to get at here is this is not a source that you're likely to use at your level. You're just starting out. If you continue to work in academic work, you'll almost certainly be using these things. But for the time being, you may not use it. But I want to tell you about these peer-reviewed articles because they're really kind of like the gold standard for what a source is. For one thing, their process by which they're made, just the amount of editing that goes into them and the amount of review, And then there's also the expertise of the author, and the stakes for getting it right are very high. All these things mean that this is a really quality type of source. Now again, we're not going to be using these too much, but I want you to be aware of what they are, these peer-reviewed articles. And what you're going to do here in a moment is compare other types of sources. Things like Wikipedia or social media or newspapers. And we're going to look at these and just kind of compare them, just kind of keeping this peer-reviewed article in mind as a point of comparison. And then you'll be able to do your own research. And hopefully these processes of comparing things in your own mind will be taking place as you research. So I want you to be aware of these differences in types of sources because it matters. It really matters for how credible and how believable and how authoritative a source can be. So let's get into it. You have an assignment in Schoology. It's called Ranking Sources. And what it asks you to do is just rank different sources in different terms of criteria. So just fill it out. It's got a link for you to follow. I'll go through and look at your responses and your rankings and give you a grade on your work. Feel free to send me a message or email me if you have any questions about the assignment. All right, thank you very much.